4 years, around 2 million gallons, and a cleanup that could take several more years to complete. This week marks the anniversary of the discovery of the Colonial Pipeline leak in Huntersville. It became the single biggest leak of its kind in U.S. history. With that anniversary, we wanted to know, where do things stand today on the cleanup?
And as Queen City News anchor Derek Dellinger found out, things have slowed down at the leak site, but it's not for any reason above ground.
Wednesday marks 4 years since the Colonial Pipeline leak in Huntersville. It happened just up the way from where we are right now. It involved some estimated 2 million gallons that uprooted lives, and it still has questions remaining.
These days, it looks much like some of the development and road projects you see in northern Mecklenburg County. But for the last 4 years now, the concentration has been what's been beneath the ground here. The Colonial Pipeline, which brings gas from Texas to New Jersey, runs right through Huntersville, right through here.
If they had told us then that it would be 4 years on and it was still very much not cleaned up, I think we would have all been shocked.
Natasha Marcus is running for the state insurance commissioner seat in November, but we spoke to her in her current capacity as state senator, someone who's been watching what's been happening out here in Huntersville, specifically with a gas leak that happened back in 2020, and hearing from those affected since it was first discovered by two teens who were out riding ATVs.
We are so grateful to those kids on their ATV who not only noticed it, but did the right thing in telling somebody who would do something about it as quickly as possible, because we will never know how long it would have taken Colonial Pipeline to realize its own leak.
It started as a small amount, then 63,000 gallons, and then a whole lot more. Colonial says some 2 million gallons leaked out over the course of weeks out of a crack in the pipeline, which has since been stopped and the damaged part of the pipe removed and replaced. The company now says that around 1.8 million gallons of it has been recovered. The remaining gas, though, is tough to get to, mixed in with groundwater and deeper underground. The leak has not hit any water wells.
There's eyes on them all the time.
Huntersville Mayor Christy Clark is one of those eyes. She and the town's Board of Commissioners got a look at the leak site when they were first elected.
There were some folks who maybe had their long-term plan, their retirement home, that have now been upset and had to, relocate.
Those that lived close to the leak have moved, with many properties they are now owned by Colonial. In a statement to Queen City News, Colonial said in part that they remain committed to remediating the Huntersville site while protecting the environment and the safety of those who work and live near our operations. Back out at the leak site, though, levels of benzene, a component of gas that can cause cancer, being dangerously high at the site all this time on. That means there's still work to be done here.
As long as there is gasoline in the ground and the groundwater here in Huntersville, they're going to have extremely elevated levels of benzene.
Yeah.
That is the main problem. There's also concerns about potential PFAS out at the site and other things.
That cleanup could still take years, and there is some residential development happening just outside of that area, but there is no word yet on what exactly will happen to that area once it is fully cleaned up. In Huntersville, Derek Dellinger, Queen City News.